Alright, welcome back. This is going to be a review of the DC Comics Multiverse series Joker from the Batman Endgame. So this Joker comes with the Joker figure here, and also an accessory, which is actually just like a ripped off face, which is, you know, thematic for his most recent stuff, but kind of messed up as well. It also comes with the left arm of the Justice Buster, which is Batman's giant Iron Man Hulkbuster suit, which you can see right there. The rest of the ones in the series, it's another Collect and Connect series, are Batman, the Arrow from the Arrow TV show, Superman, which looks like an Earth 2 Superman, the Flash, which is also from the show, from the Flash, and then a Reverse Flash, who I think is also going to be modeled after the character from the Flash. So this multiverse series, I hadn't really looked at it before seeing this Joker figure. I think what they're trying to do is replace the DC Universe classics, but with a more broad scope series. So what they're able to do with that is actually take characters from specific storylines in TV shows or animated movies or the live action shows that they've been doing, as well as video games, and then pulling from the comics as well. This guy's from the comics. It looks like this series is actually pretty diverse. I'm not sure what exactly they're drawing for the Batman, this Batman here, but I saw that they had the Batman Returns, Superman, Batman, and Son of Batman were the first ones that were released for this multiverse set. And then the Joker's from the comics. I'm guessing Batman's from the comics, the same Endgame comics as well. But then the three of these are from the current TV shows, and the Superman is from some Earth 2 series, I think. So that's pretty cool. It looks like they're basically picking up the same scale as the DC Universe classics, but they're going a lot more broad. It also looks like that packaging is a little less nice, I guess. So we're going to check out this package real quick. It kind of is the same as the same shape and everything as the Captain Cold figure that I had reviewed a little bit earlier. Actually, I have the box right here. So it looks like they're kind of trying to do the same display style, except it looks like this multiverse set might be a little bit more cheaply done. The accessories aren't exactly as well done. Like the Justice Buster arm doesn't look like it really had any painted detail on there at all. It was just kind of put together and in the package, but it's really big, so I'm excited to get that whole set. I want to see how big that Justice Buster ends up getting. Do a review on that one all on its own once I finish it. Also, this guy comes with a lot less accessories, with just that one little face that doesn't really do much. You might be able to hold it, but for display purposes maybe, but it's kind of just weird. So yeah, this is the front. Reveals the character and his accessories. You have the Batman Endgame The Joker, so it shows what he was inspired by, and also a picture of the character from that, so whatever series it's referring to, and then it has the Collect and Connect Justice Buster tag right here. On the top it just has DC Comics Multiverse, and then it has a normal has a JPEG on the back for retail, and then it has some information about the character on the side: real name, base of operations, and special abilities. You have the set that can be collected on the back, and this side is just blank, multiverse. So now we're going to open it up and check out the figure, articulation, and the quality of the accessories. One thing that I would like to point out as I'm opening up this box is that the box actually seems to open most effectively from the side. It doesn't really open here up at the top. It doesn't have a seam unless you want to rip the cardboard here at the JPEG. But it has an opening here at the side where you kind of have to cut some tape to get to it. But once you do, the character kind of just flops right out of there, so that's pretty cool. So now checking out how these guys are secured in here. It doesn't look like there's a single twist tie on this packaging, and it looks like, I think all the newer DC stuff is secured this way, aside from the actual like licensed TV show stuff. It's all just held in by the grooves in the plastic. I saw that with some Justice League stuff too that I'll probably be picking up a little later. Just a second. He is pretty secured in there though. So there's the figure. Here's his face accessory right there. And the Justice Buster arm. Alright, so this figure here, it is the Joker. Just right out of the package, I can tell he's painted really well, and he also has some decent articulation, and the feel of the action figure is just nice. Better quality than I had actually expected before I had opened him out of the box here. His coat is actually like a malleable rubber. I was not expecting that at all. And the points of articulation are very quick to move. It's not really like firm like you usually expect from a brand new figure out of the box here. So that's pretty cool. So points of articulation is what we'll go over first. So it looks like his shoulders are the basic double joint here. They can move out and also turn. His elbow is a pivot as well, and it has a pretty good range of motion. Maybe, yeah, about 45 degrees, and then it stops at the elbow. So 45 degrees is decent, not super great. It's but he also has a rotation right here, a pin joint. And then his hand feels like, it looks like it would be on a ball joint, but I think it's also a pin joint because it doesn't, yeah. So his wrist rotates there. And then his head is on a ball. So you can kind of look around. He doesn't really seem to look back too well. So maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just a pin on his neck. Just going back and forth. Okay. And then his... Even though it's covered by the jacket, you can tell that his waist has a pivot as well. And then his legs are double jointed as well. So his legs can go out and also go forward. The look of that is kind of weird though. To make it work with the shape of his pelvis there, they actually had to cut into the legs to make it look like, you know, he had the suit pants on whenever he was just standing right up. But whenever it goes out, you can see that shape's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. I don't know. Looks alright if he's far off, I guess. It also has a pivot right here at the upper thigh, and then he has a pivot here at the knee, so that has pretty good rotation. It also looks like he's supposed to have some type of movement for his foot, but you can barely move it because of the shape of the pants. But it's enough to work with. He actually stands really well for not having a lot of foot control. Like his characters can actually stand in, it's kind of an awkward pose, and he's still able to stand really well. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, he has a decent range of motion. His waist is kind of easy to turn though. It's kind of a worn feeling, even though it just came out of his box. So that's kind of weird, but it's alright. His hand here is also in a really strange position. It's like cowabunga type thing going on. I don't know. I think they were trying to be reminiscent of the picture here that they were adapting it from. It looks like the hand, they were trying to kind of do that raised pinky thing, maybe to hold that wonky accessory that he comes with. His other hand looks standard. You could probably stick like a pistol or a crowbar in there if you wanted to put him in a certain pose. I didn't read any of the comics with this specific Joker, so I'm not really sure what he goes about doing. I had thought that his face got cut off, and that was like the beginning of the story. He had to like staple it back on, but I don't know. He seems to be alright in this version. So, and then he's got this wonky face, which is creepy as crap. Can't really hold it, but that's alright. Maybe you could hold it in this hand. I don't really want him to hold it. I might just, I'm never going to use that for anything. Because it's disturbing. And then I want to look at this real quick before we talk about paint job. This is the left arm of the Justice Breaker. No, Justice Buster, that's it. It actually seems to have a pretty good range of motion too. He's going to have a double pivot here at the arm, at the shoulder. He's got a double pivot here at the at the elbow, and then on the outside of the box it looked like he would also have a rotate, because it was sitting like this, it looked like it would have a rotational wrist because it has a seam right there, but that is not the case. It's got this giant piece right here, so it keeps it from turning. But as a giant figure, that's going to be freaking cool. I can't wait to get the rest of that figure. But it looks like, even on the box, the three that are currently out are the Joker, the Arrow, and the Flash. It says that Batman, right there, Batman, Superman, and a Reverse Flash, or Professor Zoom, I guess. They're all going to be coming out a little bit later, so you can't actually collect all these guys at once. Otherwise, I would be on a massive toy hunt trying to figure out where to get the rest of those dudes. But the rest of them seem to be in stock pretty well, so hopefully this doesn't become like a sparse collection that's hard to track down once I've already gotten a few of these pieces. So talking about paint job now, his face seems to be the only thing that's super well super detailed, I guess, in general. And it looks like it's in pretty good condition. His teeth are like super grody. It looks like he's been like, he's got the London look going on. His yellow spaced teeth. Strange. His green hair is well painted. His face is super evenly painted, and he's even got those pink bags under his eyes. Sorry, I'm holding him sideways, but my camera's close to the table. So he's even got those pink bags under his eyes. The only thing that I noticed, and I think it's just a defect with my specific character, he's got a little white mark where the paint looks like it didn't cover all the way on his eyebrow, or might have been scratched off, but it's all right. Yeah, but he's got kind of pink gums going down to those yellow teeth, have like a black wash in between them to make them look all grody. And then he's got the a thin lip line there. It's like a dark red lips. And then he has the green eyebrows that arch over. And he has green eyes as well, which are well done. They focus. He doesn't have like the weird reverse cross-eyed thing going on that, you know, a lot of characters seem to get when they try to put that much detail into the eyes. It actually did a really good job. It even goes so far as to having a light green shade. I wonder if you can see it on there. A light green shade where he would have shaved his head into this shape. So he's got kind of like the mullet looking thing going on, but you can see that there's like a little bit of green where his hairline would be if he hadn't have shaved it. I think that's a really cool detail. I like that a lot. His arms and suit and pants, it's all the same color because it's just it's like a dark gray to black suit. And then he has the undershirt that is gray as well. And then a tie that matches his suit. His hands are just basic white gloves. And his shoes are just basic plastic. So everything is actually just the color of the plastic, it seems. His face is the only thing that's painted. And I would definitely say his face is very, very well painted. Probably one of the best painted that I've seen. Looking at it in good detail now. Other than that one white mark is all I would complain about, and I think that's just defect with this specific action figure. So, yeah, seems like this line's actually going to have a lot of promise, hopefully, because I'd like to get the rest of those as well. And he stands really well. I love that. Whenever I first saw him, it didn't look like his feet would stand on the ground too well because they didn't have a lot of articulation on the foot itself. To be able to get into different positions if his legs moves a certain way, but it's like seems like whatever which way you move his legs, his feet just hold him up super well. So I think he's he's super cool. I like him a lot, and I think that I'm gonna see if I could find a crowbar accessory or bat accessory or something somewhere online. That way you can have something to beat people with, because I think that would be the biggest complaint with the figure, is it comes with the big accessory arm with the collect and connect character, and then it comes with that face, which I guess is thematic, but I would prefer him have something to hit someone with or something. That would be nice. But yeah, I guess overall I would say that he's definitely I don't know, 8 out of 10 maybe. Definitely a good character to get. I think as far as the figure, I would say maybe a little bit farther articulation on the arms is what I would want to give him, higher numbers. And also, he seems to be right at and maybe a little bit below the scale of the DC Universe Classics line. So the last thing I probably want to mention there, because I was comparing him to some of the older figures that I had. He just looked smaller in the box. Whenever I compared him in size, he seemed to be maybe a tiny bit shorter, like he was supposed to be the same scale, but just a shorter character. He just seems a little bit more lanky than he should, like his parts are thin and everything. But looking at him solo, he looks totally like he should. So I definitely think he's a good character to pick up. I didn't really have much interest in this multiverse line until I saw this Joker. I know that I had seen the two versions of Batman, which is like classic Batman, and then the other Batman from the Batman Returns movie, and then the Batman Returns version of Superman. And I didn't really think it was Dark Knight Returns actually, or something like that. Didn't really have any interest because they just looked kind of campy. I don't know, but I think he's a really cool version of the Joker. So you should pick him up if you have any interest in this series. If you think that I missed anything in this review that you'd like me to cover next time, or something that I talked about but you'd like me to cover in more detail, go ahead and leave a comment and I will be sure to respond accordingly. I know I had been talking about collecting more of the Ninja Turtle series, but now that I'm starting to buy more action figures and see a difference in quality, I don't know if I'm going to be picking up a lot more of those guys. I think I might start sticking more with high quality stuff, because it seems to be a lot more satisfying to stick on a shelf than something that I can complain about the paint job and articulation and everything. Like that Razar figure that couldn't even stand on its own. So I'm probably going to pick up a few more of the Ninja Turtles, but I'm not out to collect all of them. And also, I'm probably going to be picking up a lot more DC stuff and then other just random figures that I see that I think either look really nice or either, like, I don't know, get some childhood memories going or something. I don't know. So just leave a message on anything you think I should pick up and review, and I will see if it's worth going for. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.